Hey guys, welcome to another Marvel movie review. Today I'm going to talk about the Amazing Spider-Man 2 film, yet again. I first made a spoiler-free review when I first saw it, but there's some things that I left out unintentionally that I want to say about this film. And this time my review is going to contain spoilers. So if you haven't watched the movie, or you don't like spoilers or whatever, I suggest you turn this video off. You should check out some other videos. I have some videos that you might find interesting. That should be probably a good idea. If you have seen the movie, which would be most of you, or you don't like you like spoilers, sorry, you don't mind, you don't care, well then, jump right in, be my guest. Now I'm going to start this review with something that has bothered me ever since I heard about The Amazing Spider-Man 1. They're saying, we'll show you the untold story. Can someone explain to me what that is? I mean, what? Do they say that because they're showing us the story behind Peter's parents? Well, most of us comic book fans or people who have read the comic books know the story, and as audience-wise, it's a great majority of the audience. People who know the comic books, people who read about Spider-Man, people who actually like Spider-Man, just not just newcomers. Peter hasn't caught Uncle Ben's killer, and that really bugs me to this day. It seems like he's all of a sudden forgotten about it, or he's lost interest in it. Let's remember that is Peter's main motivation to become Spider-Man. That's why he becomes Spider-Man. He swore, ever since that happened, he swore to protect the innocent people. That's why he is Spider-Man. So how can he not catch Uncle Ben's killer? At least not that we know of. Now the movie, in my opinion, was great, but it's not perfect. It was actually far from perfect. I felt it too rushed. It wasn't as rushed as Spider-Man 3, but I felt it was more of a pre-Sinister Six film rather than a standalone Spider-Man film. So that's why I say I felt it too rushed. And the Green Goblin only serves one purpose if you look closely. Now the costume was great, far better than the first one, more accurate to the comic books actually. The web shooters have been improved. Thank God for Mark Webb for improving the web shooters. I never liked those bulky and oversized web shooters. Ugh. Now, some people say this movie is somewhat of a soap opera. Well, I got news for you. Peter Parker's life is kind of like that. It's not a soap opera, but it's full with drama. It's really dramatic. It's filled with tragedy. He's had some life-changing moments and some heartbreaking moments in that. So that's basically how Peter's life is, more or less. Now, some people praise Mark Webb for making this Spider-Man more faithful and more accurate to the comic books. Well, I have news for you. First off, Peter isn't a nerd before he acquired his powers, which is something I like. I really like that. Now, let's remember, Peter didn't create his web fluid. He stole it from Oscorp. He never came up with the idea. You never see him thinking or talking to himself, and I'm going to talk about that later on. Well, I need some kind of fluid or some kind of substance that will allow me to swing from building to building. He stole the web fluid from Oscorp. Let's not forget that. Now, they need to exaggerate the spider sense. If I had the spider sense in that movie, if I was Peter Parker in that movie, I would surely got hit by a truck or got shot at or got hit by lightning. If I wasn't paying close attention to the movie, I wouldn't have seen the spider sense. I'm not saying it should be all over exaggerated, like ding, 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 all the sirens and bells and whistles popping off, but they need to make it less subtle. One thing Spider-Man has been missing in all these 5 released movies, he has no, and I think that's one of the main character traits, at least in my opinion, he has no inner monologue. In the comic books, he's always talking to himself, whether it is for strategy reasons, on how to defeat a villain, or to distract himself, or thinking about the things he has to do. He always does that in comic books, always. And he doesn't do that in any of these movies. So that's what I would really like to see the inner monologue. Actually, in this Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie, he does that, but he only does it once, and I feel it's more of an self-encouragement for him to continue the battle with Electro rather than inner monologue. Now, there's no opposing force to Spider-Man. Everybody loves him, everybody praises him and whatnot, and actually, this actually brings memories of a discussion I had with a YouTuber before the Amazing Spider-Man 1 was released. I was watching the trailer, and I wrote a comment saying, "Ugh, this is the Spectacular Spider-Man brought to a live-action movie." Now, I like the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, I just didn't like the direction they took with the first Spider-Man movie, and I still say to this day, I didn't like that film very much. He said, and there's one word or the whole phrase that I will never forget. He said, and I quote, they end up, the public or the people end up liking Spider-Man at the end. The key word is at the end, or they end up doing it. What I meant by opposing force is there's no Jameson ranting at a screen in Times Square or at his newspaper about Spider-Man. We don't actually see him or hear him rant about Spidey. Of course, he writes his articles on Tumblr and everything. I don't care about Tumblr. Some people don't even know what it is. Some people don't have access to Tumblr. We need to see J. Jonah Jameson in the movie. What better actor to play him than J.K. Simmons? Enough said. Now, I felt Aunt May's character kind of weak. As much as I like Sally Field in the character, I felt it weak because of what I said earlier, and this brings me to my previous point. She doesn't like Spider-Man either. That is, until she knows Peter's secret. She knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. But before that, in more than 30 or 40 years, she doesn't like Spider-Man. And she says it openly. And that's an element that's been missing in the past 5 or 6 years. Not just in movies, but in cartoons and whatnot. Now, onto the villains. Electro, I didn't find him that interesting. As much as I like Jamie Foxx as an actor and I recognize his skills, I think he doesn't have enough motivation. I think his motivation is, nobody notices me, I want people to see me, I want to be like Spider-Man, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't have a real reason to be evil, let alone sinister. Now, the Green Goblin was really, really good. Although he served just one purpose in the whole movie, which was kill Gwen Stacy. But I liked the character. He made a really good villain. Now, there's not enough Rhino. He appears on screen only 4 minutes, both Rhino and Alexei Savage. Now, the kid at the end of the movie in the Spider-Man get-up confronting Rhino, I felt that was totally unnecessary. There was no need for them to do that. But, well. Parts from the trailers have been cut from the actual movie, which I kind of saw it coming because there's always a catch from companies showing too much of the actual film. There's a cost to that, and the cost of this was removing key elements in the actual movie, from the actual movie. Now, I found out Sony was promoting the use of cell phones in movie theater. What the fuck is wrong with them? The number one rule in movie theaters nowadays is no cell phone, so it makes absolutely no sense to go against that rule. Why are they want to promote people? They're saying that if you Shazam the credit sequence, you'll have access to an exclusive look at the Sinister Six movie, or the Sinister Six lineup, or whatever. Which I found that really, really stupid. They shouldn't promote the use of cell phones in movie theaters, mainly because it disturbs other people. Now, one really nice thing this movie has is Black Cat, aka Felicia Hardy. Now, I know some people might say, how do I know this is Felicia Hardy? Okay, let's face it. What other character in the Spider-Man universe is called Felicia? Simple as that. Now, the villain that, in my opinion, was really interesting in the movie, and I say it again, in my opinion, stole the movie, was this Mr. Fierce character, Man in the Shadows or the Gentleman. I found him really interesting, much better villain than Electro, although he has very little screen time, and I found him truly sinister. The way he talks, the way he appears on screen, and whatever, really, really good. Now, Gwen dies, of course, and I'm really surprised, and it makes me laugh that people, even fans of the character, never saw it coming. I still, to this day, I still hear people say they didn't see it coming. They're shocked about it. Well, of course it would happen. It was going to happen eventually, and what better way to do it now than they're saying they're basing her death off of the comic books and everything. Well, if you have the Green Goblin in the mix, why not kill Gwen Stacy? Although I didn't want her to die because I love the character and I love the actress as well. But yeah, by the way she died was really graphic when she snapped her neck in the concrete and everything, and yeah, that was really intense. There was no post-credit scene. Instead, we had a mid-credit scene featuring X-Men Days of Future Past film, and I'm going to tell you why. Turns out Fox wanted Mark Webb to work on their movies, but since he's busy with the Webhead, he can't obviously work on that. So as compensation, he had to promote Fox's film, this being the new upcoming X-Men Days of Future Past film, inside his very own movie, the Spider-Man movie, for free. So that's why we have that clip there. Some people say there will be, they're even excited about a Fox and Sony team up. I hate to break it to you guys, but that's not going to happen. At least not in the near future. Companies these days care more about making money than actually listening to the fans. So again, I hate to break it to you, but that's just how it is. Now, last but not least, I would very much like to see a Marvel Studios Spidey film, for variety's sake. They've done a great job with Captain America 2 and the Avengers and everything, so I would really like to see what they can do with our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I would really like to see that. I hope they do it in the near future, but I'm somewhat discouraged because I found out actually Marvel is selling some of the rights to Spider-Man to Sony, so yeah, kind of discouraged there, but okay. Overall, it is a great movie, and I highly recommend you watch it. Whether you're just a newcomer, an spectator, or a fan, just go watch it. I think you'll like it, and the musical score is definitely great. This has been it for this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for making it too long, but there are some things that I didn't want to leave out. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. Until next time, take care.